What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Cubs fan Han here for some Marvel Future Revolution content, and we are on the new channel. I am confident enough that this is going to be a fun game to talk about, that we're just going to move everything over here for this game. So everyone, go ahead, click that subscribe button, hit that notifications bell so you can see all of the fresh content coming at you guys for Marvel Future Revolution. And today we're going to be talking about 5 big important beginner's tips for everyone out there. This is a big game, and this is frankly an overwhelming game. I have been asking lots of questions. I've been playing this game since it first launched for the soft launch up in Canada. I pretended to be Canadian so that I could play the game, and I wasn't able to play as consistently as I wanted to because I was limited to BlueStacks to play it on. Now I've got it on my phone. It's full steam ahead, baby, and I absolutely love what is going on. So let's get into the 5 tips. Tip number 1 is the big one. Everyone's talking about starting characters, and I'm just gonna jump out in front of this and say I kind of feel like this conversation is overblown a little bit. Now, look, there are better heroes than other heroes, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about that, but ultimately, my recommendation is play with who you enjoy playing with, and we're gonna start learning who the best characters are over the next several months. If you end up leveling up a character that isn't quite as good, it's okay. You're going to be able to find other characters to play with, and you can even purchase other hero slots to get those more OP characters. But if we go into the hero select, the character that I am the most high on right now is Iron Man. Now, I don't think he's necessarily the best out there, but I really like the flying. I love the dodging capability he's got. If you are a really dodge heavy play style, you like to get those dodges in, Spider-Man is great for that. And Iron Man's actually, Captain America is also kind of a underrated dodge character, I think, because he's got, instead of flying, he's got kind of a sprint functionality, which can kind of act as a sort of pseudo dodge, if that makes sense. So you've got the 3 dodges on cooldown that you can use with your characters. Captain America can kind of add a 4th in there with how much he's able to run back and forth. Storm is another good one. A lot of people thought she was one of the best players and one of the best characters in the game when the game first launched and soft launch. That narrative seems to be shifting, and that's kind of why I say don't worry too much about this. The narrative is going to shift as time goes on. Just kind of pick who you like. I would recommend starting with a few, maybe not filling all 4 slots right away, and just kind of figuring out who you like and then go all in on that. And then you are going to, as you get later in the game, you're going to want to level up multiple heroes at once, because you're going to run into squad leveling issues where it doesn't let you go on to future missions. And so you kind of got to backtrack to other heroes to level them up. And we'll talk about that here in a bit. Black Widow seems to be one of the most popular right now. Doctor Strange is way up there as well. I would say the only one I'm hearing a lot of chatter about, just people not liking, is probably Star-Lord, unfortunately. And I love Star-Lord, but I'm hearing a lot of people not very happy with Star-Lord. I personally haven't played with him, but if you want to know who maybe to avoid, sounds like Star-Lord might be the case. Black Widow might be one of the best ones to go for. And then I feel like, I really do feel like everything else is just kind of down to personal preference. All right, inventory management. That is tip number 2. You guys, this is going to be the part of the game I think that overwhelms the most people to begin with. And the first thing I recommend everybody do, you got these crystals up here, is to expand your inventory a bit. Now, here is the kicker with this. There's a positive and a negative side of this. The positive is when you spend crystals on this, it's done. So my inventory for Iron Man is at 150. But notice I said for Iron Man, this expands for the character. This is Iron Man's inventory, okay? So if I go over to Storm, she'll be back at 100. And so I would wait to expand that inventory until you're feeling a need for that character. Maybe, so like right now, I'm kind of leveling up my other 3 heroes just kind of on the side right now. I'm not worried about their inventories a ton right now. Iron Man's kind of my main drive, my main focus. That's what I'm going to take to the end of the campaign. So he's the one that I'm expanding the inventory on because he's the one that I'm the most all in on for now. And then once I get Iron Man to level 100 and I've finished the campaign and such with Iron Man, then I'll probably move on to somebody else. I think I'm probably going to buy another slot for heroes which is a great, I think, a really great use of crystals. It costs 400 crystals. I think these are called crystals, right? Yeah, crystals. 400 crystals to buy another hero slot, so you can have up to 5. And then I think you could just spend all of those and max it out, which obviously would be more whale territory, but you can totally free to play happen upon that many crystals if you push for it. So anyway, just a couple tips on inventory management is to be careful what you end up dismantling and what you use. And so when you look at power cores, you get farther down, some of these 1 stars might be better dismantle territory. Some of these battle badges that you're not actually equipping, because ultimately what you're going to get to with your character is you're going to have a set that you like, that you feel good about, and a whole other video could be made on this subject and probably will be made on this subject. But once you get a set that you feel good about, then the others might be a little more kind of, just not really worth a whole lot. But you're gonna need to get to a point where you can dismantle. Now, dismantling is actually pretty nice because you're gonna get these convergium particles with them, and that's what you use to kind of crunch those costume pieces. And so a lot of times I will save some of the lower costume pieces just so I could take, like, I could take one of these 3-star costumes and crunch them into a 4-star costume, which I'm going to wait to do until I have. I'm actually going to be crunching this one all the way up, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit on exactly why. Speaking of regional costumes, pay attention to where your regional costumes are. I am full of regret, guys. I dismantled a regional costume when I first started playing this game because I did not understand. And the game even tries to protect you from dismantling regional costumes. You see here, I've got this Midgardia head here. And it's got a little lock icon on it. Now, I can unlock that. Don't do it. Just, if you see something locked, leave it locked. Those are the best costumes in the game and the costumes that you want to create a set for. Now, for all of you Marvel Strike Force and Galaxy of Heroes players, these are like mods or ISO 8s. There's a lot of things that are kind of like mods, but specifically with mods in Galaxy of Heroes, you want to have the right set of mods, right? You want to have the speed mods. You want to have the health mods, or whatever it is for which character. So you want to have a set that is from the same region for these characters. So right now I don't have a good helmet for my set because it's not started up enough, but I'm working on this Midgardia set here. So I've got the Midgardia shoes and the Midgardia suit for now, and I'm working on getting an arm and a helmet, which in my current inventory, if we jump over to our inventory, I've got that 1-star Midgardia head. I just need to find enough 1-star pieces so I can crunch those, and then you just run over here to the costume upgrade place, and that's where you're going to be using those convergium particles the most to get these suits leveled up. And so I would recommend just paying attention to where your suits are at, because if I were to take this right now, I could select this. I can crunch it to 2 stars. I need 5 1-star costumes to do that, and then these convergium particles right here. And so that's where those are going to come in handy. So do not sell, do not crunch, do not dismantle the regional pieces. Please, I beg you, don't do it. Learn from my mistakes and don't make that same mistake. All right, next up is to spend your credits wisely. Now, you are going to get into credit crunch. It won't feel like at the very beginning of the game, but those credits are going to very quickly become very valuable resources to you. And the biggest area that I see people making mistakes on this is when they're leveling up their skills. Pay attention to which skills you are leveling up and make sure it is the skills that you are actually using. You could waste a lot of credits. I mean, especially when you get up here to these top areas, that's going to be 65,000 to upgrade that. This one would be 65,000. You could go through a lot, 65. And I'm still deciding. I'm actually leaving these open right now because I'm trying to decide exactly what set of skills I want to run for Iron Man. And then I'm going to make a few more upgrades based on where I'm at right now. And then you've also got the actual ability upgrades in here, which I'm running that for a specific reason. You could, when you upgrade these, they're going to cost a certain amount. I don't know if I have one. There we go. There's one. So that's only 30,000. not a ton to upgrade that. So pay attention to where you're spending those. And I think especially where I'm seeing people kind of get into trouble is, when they're leveling up every skill the second that it's available. Just focus on where your skills are in terms of which ones you're using. And then finally, the last tip is to side quest or to not. This is the famous philosopher Plato. I think his most famous saying was to side quest or to not. So let me talk about side quest. You really want to focus on the side quests that are going to actually benefit you. And I found in the early game, the side quests really just didn't give me enough experience to make them worth my time. Even autoing through them, they weren't doing a whole lot for me. But when you get into Midgardia, I'd say especially once you get into Midgardia and beyond, and Sakaar, those side quests are going to actually make a pretty sizable difference because they're going to help you level up. And I'll show you what I mean here. So this side quest right here, let's see, we're right here. Let's go check out this one. I'll show you guys how much this one's worth, experience-wise. So I'm going to talk to him. And this one's only level 61. I've already done the higher ones. But even the level 61, 100,000 experience that could be added to my level. And when you're working on leveling up, so like right now, look at where I'm at right now. I've got 41 out of 40 for my next campaign mission. My squad level, which is at 41, very, very close to 42. You can't even see a gap in that level up indicator there. I have to get to level 44. Now, one of the best ways to do that is if you go into, let's see, I think it's right here, the hero level up event. Once I get level 80, which I'm at 79 right now, 3,200 squad experience coming my way when I get there. Level 85, 3,400, so on and so forth. And so leveling up your characters faster through those side quests when you don't have anything else to do will help you do that. And then, of course, another way to kind of, get into that is going to be to go level up other characters, which I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be starting Black Widow here soon, but that's another point. And a lot of that squad leveling up comes from that, when you hit those level up events, you get nice little dumps of squad energy. But that's where the side quests are valuable. But when you go over, I mean, I could probably show you right now. If I were to jump over to, say, Hydra Empire, all right? Let's go look at a side quest in Hydra. So we're going to jump here. Oh, I think it might have said I was already done with all my side quests right here. Yeah, okay, here, hold on. Oops. I'm going to dodge for no apparent reason. Let's see here. Let's go. Oh, we'll go to New Stark City even to really, really show how pointless this could be. Okay, yeah, we didn't do any here. All right, so we're going to jump over here in New Stark City and just look at, let's skip this. All right, here we go. So we're going to look at this side quest right here. All right. Side questing, ladies and gentlemen. To side quest or to not? Well, I'm going to suggest to not, because we're going to get 230 experience for that. This is an absolute waste of time. Now, when you're very early in the game, maybe you would do that, because that 230 would maybe make a difference then. But even then, you're able to do so much of the campaign early on that even these side quests early on just don't feel worth it to me at all. So pay attention to that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really excited to be playing this game with you. Let me know what other questions you have about it as you're starting this game. I am loving the gameplay here, and there's so much to cover. So we're gonna be releasing a lot of videos on this, but I hope these 5 tips were good kind of starting point for you guys. I'm sure there's a lot of other videos to watch with plenty of other tips. So fill the comments below, like the video, and I hope you guys sub and join me for a lot more Marvel Future Revolution content. And as always, my brothers, don't forget,